This is the Sim Pit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to the Pit Stop, where we cover today's sim racing news Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific Central Time. Thank you for joining the show. Today is the October, Friday the 13th, show. You know, we sim racers in general, we're a superstitious group. I wonder what Friday the 13th means to all of you. It coming in the month of October with Halloween, does that make it an extra special Friday the 13th? Or is that just a bunch of hoopla? Anyway, welcome to the show. I'm very excited. I have a race tonight, so we'll see how Friday the 13th ties into my world. But again, I think a lot of people enjoy the coincidence of Friday the 13th, and we'll call today Michael Myers Day on the Sim Pit. Anyway, let's move on to the sim news for the day, and we actually have a really full show. So I'm pretty excited about some of the things going on today on Friday, which is really good. So let's get going. First things first, at the Forza Motorsport Twitter feed, they talk about the Pendulum Tuning official release catalog is live. So if you follow that link, it'll take you to this page where it looks like they're starting to have tunes available for various different classes. They even have their homogenization tunes letting you know that it's for a particular class. Good evening, Sweden. And this is good news. This is fun stuff for Forza. You know, we've talked a lot about Forza, and it is kind of cool to see them doing things to help out the community, make it easier for people who don't maybe know how to tune the cars or don't want to spend the time. You can just go here, it looks like, and be sort of on that next level right out of the gate. The last nice race, Friday the 13th, I'm not sure. I don't know when the last Friday the 13th was. Hello, Orion. So that's it for Forza. Nothing else really to report there, but it is cool to see them working on tunes and doing things that internally support the game, not externally support like changes, fixes, patches, whatever, but internal stuff you can use in the sim or game. Hello, Indy. Next up, Gran Turismo. They have this cool video, came out yesterday. I didn't catch it until after the show, with Lewis Hamilton. And we've talked about Gran Turismo and how there was a reduction in cars. So here, as they put it, instead of 100 different versions of the MX-5, as was the case with the last couple of games, they are now focusing more in the direction towards actual proper racing. That's a quote from them. And with that is going to come some kind of instruction from Lewis Hamilton. This video, if you watch it, so again, I went to the Twitter feed for Gran Turismo. There's a link here with this, which takes you to this page with a little more details and the video. And I'll go ahead and play it just a moment just so we can kind of see. But you can see Kaz meeting Lewis, and he's going to give you some pointers, I suppose, about driving. So, again, like Forza, internally helping the sim. Project Cars 2, the crew chief aspect that's internally within the sim. This is one of those new ages. And I actually need to write that down. Give me one moment, because this comes back to tomorrow's topic on the sim tunnel. Crew chief. Bear with me. Just don't want to miss a beat here today. So anyway, that's a cool thing being added to Gran Turismo. Lots to cover, so I'm going to keep moving right along. If you guys have any opinion on any of the things that we're talking about, please chime in. And John Cheel talking about a crew to set up the car, and that's something that I haven't tested it, but within Project Cars 2, you have that. I haven't seen how effective it is. I'm sure it's more effective than us blindly making changes. Next up, Project Cars 2. So they had a lot of drivers involved in the development of the game, and you can say what you want about it, whether this was a marketing ploy or how valuable the input from those drivers were, and I'm sure it did have a value. But what they have here, they just released 7 testimonials from the drivers who worked with them in developing the game. Renee Rast, Tommy Milner, Ben Collins, the Stig, Vaughn Gittin Jr., who I met the other night at a party, Nicholas Hamilton, who I saw quite a few really cool videos with him, Mitchell DeJong, who I know personally, and I know that Mitchell gave them a ton of feedback on the rally car aspect of the game. I know that firsthand, talking to Mitchell, talking to the developers, talking them together in the same room at the same time. I watched Mitchell working on the sim, and I wasn't able to bring any of that to you because this was behind the scenes stuff, very off the record. But, it just gives you an idea of the kind of guys and the kind of feedback. Oliver Erickson, and it is, it's cool to see this. And again, we're talking about what is the next generation of Sims. Some of this was promotional. Let's make no mistake. Some of these were hired guns to maybe even provide worthy testimonials. Let's not undermine the concept that could go on. But again, I watched Mitchell's work with The Sim. I watched the videos with Nicholas Hamilton. And I know that it was a real relationship and real help in the development. Now, the big thing is coming from all of you. How did that transmit into The Sim? Do these testimonials, and I encourage you to go read them. It's very cool reading. How do the testimonials overlap your perception of the game or Sim so far? And Paul, thank you very much. And Michael, thank you very much as well. Spatial, welcome to the show. Tom, you're going to have to watch the replay later. Sorry, I need to, shorten this show up just for you. Anyway, that's all I have to say about Project Cars 2, so let's move right along. Lots to cover. Race Room. In 3 minutes, so I hate even showing it. The grand finale of the Mercedes-AMG eSport is going on. And I know Jack Kitely, I talk to him very often. He's one of the finalists. 2 minutes till it starts. So if you go to Race Room Twitter feed, they have a link there. You go to Mercedes-Benz at Facebook or at YouTube. This event is going to start. I was planning on watching it, maybe doing a viewer party, but it looks like it's already going to be midway or done by the time we wrap up here. Excuse me. Do I have a couple of Heinies? No, I'm not a big drinker. I do occasionally, but not a big drinker, so certainly not doing Heinekens before a race. And I wouldn't pick Heineken if I were going to drink one anyway. Moving right along. I mentioned this yesterday or the day before with that eSport competition going on for F1 2017. But officially, the update is out. And that's the updated liveries, spectator mode, photo mode, and a chance to win game merchandise. So you can follow the link here. I already had it up, actually. And it gives you the full story. So again, Twitter feed for Formula 1 2017 is where I got this news. Not trying to tell you all my secrets, but I like talking about it. It's not a matter of just reading it or finding the story, but being able to talk about it. And like George mentioned, that final is going on. So I love when we get to really dig into or in some cases slam and in some cases praise the news of the day. So anyway, that's it. That is out. You can check out the details and get that update if you own one of the various modes, versions of Codemaster. Sorry, I was reading this about the patch also contains. The spectator mode is what they're talking about. So enhancements to that game. Riza Studios, they just have a new update, 1.481 hotfix for Automobilista. I am trying to get a copy of Automobilista late on the game. I know it's been out a very long time. I'd like to give it some love, show it on the show. I've driven various products from Riza. They are some of the masters of working with the R-Factor 2 physics engine, but they take over from there. And they have some great products, and, South American-centric in terms of most of the content are series that you would find in South America. But that is still fun. It's nice to have diversity and tracks you'll never see in other Sims. When we talk about what each Sim brings to the table, Riza brings tracks that you're not going to find in any other Sim, and that's always fun. One step up than a fantasy track to me. A fantasy track is cool because I've never been there. But a real-life track that I've never been to, a rare, off-the-beaten-path track, is even more fun to me, or more authentic. So, Barry, I had an interesting race last night. We'll talk about that in just 1 minute, but we'll go move on to the sim racing systems. We're almost there. Another announcement, I just found this at a next level, and I've used their more substantial stand, but they've come out with what they call their wheel stand light. And I get a lot of people ask me some very, very starter questions, like getting started in sim racing type questions. And you do want to have options that, I always say get you off the couch, where you build a rig or use some other form other than sitting on a couch and holding a controller playing Forza or Gran Turismo. I know that that's the starting point, and then people advance from there. $149 is pretty inexpensive. My experience with Next Level is most of their stuff is pretty sturdy. So I haven't tested this, but that is a good, inexpensive option for those who don't want to build a dedicated rig. So I believe that covers everything. Let me check. Oh, I have one more thing. What was this? Oh, this was just the Twitter feed. The Facebook page for the Mercedes competition, which is now underway, 1 minute in. So this is something that I will be watching after the show, just for my own entertainment, and I would encourage you to do the same thing. Yes, I do play P-Cars on triples, Gecko. Excellent. Well, I'm glad you guys are enjoying the show. The live stream, which I tested for the purpose of racing, gave me an aha moment. Because the news is something I've always wanted to cover, but how do you dedicate the right amount of time to doing it and doing it in the right manner? And, Kevin Siggy's in this as well. Wow, these are some huge names. I'm looking at the names in this competition, and this is a who's who of some of the known aliens of sim racing. So again, I will be watching it. But again, I wanted to be able to do the news where it's more than, I put it, the cut and paste news. It's like these stories are there. I could have just cut and paste and put a post on Facebook or shared their thing. But in so many cases, there's more to it than that. What can we talk about? Right here, just talking about this Mercedes competition. Look at the presentation. Look at the crowd. Look at the venue. And when people's perception of sim racing start seeing it in this, how many times have you had people and you tell them what you do in your hobby and they're like, I didn't realize you could do it like that. I get emails from people who are playing Forza on a controller, found my show, found a review of a rig or a wheel or something, and we're like, wow, I didn't know you could do it at that level. There are people who are going to see this who've never seen sim racing before, and they're going to be like, wow, I had no idea you could do this. And that is very important to all of us when we're looking at the future of sim racing. So I know I'm always touching on those kind of thoughts, but I think that's, again, getting back to the live show, doing the news like this. It's so much more important than just cut and pasting an article. But that is it for the regular news. Now let's move on to a few personal things. Our pit stop map has grown. We've got more viewers than ever from a bigger and larger area than ever before. And I'm just filling in the map. You're seeing the density is starting to increase in certain areas. But I love you guys. I love the show. I love the pit crew. And it's great to see such an international audience. Moving on from that, I want to move into the historic series that we've been doing. So last night was the first race of our Sim Racing Systems SimPit Historic Series, running the Ferrari 312 at a list of new but appropriate to the era tracks and era correct tracks. Tough car. It was a tough race. Wow, 20 minutes feels pretty long in a car that difficult to handle. But we had a blast, and I think that we will see things get even better and better over time as people get a handle on the car, myself included, because I made a selection of mistakes in last night's race, including running out of fuel on the final lap. Inexcusable. I did testing. I said it was good for 25 minutes, but apparently not. I'm going to have to throw another 5 liters in. I'm going to run 25 liters. So anybody who is joining us, that's what I'm going to go with tonight at 6 o'clock in race number 2 of race week 1 at Zandvoort, which is an awesome track. Barry, I was having trouble breaking 48s at first. I finally got back down to the 45s during the race, but man, it's tough. It's a tough one. I think that makes it fun, but it makes it tough. At least we get 4 races before we go to Nordschleife, which I think that'll be a race, even if you don't run with us in the series. I think we're going to get some extras who just love running there. So that should be pretty cool. Next topic. I always talk about sim rigs. I always talk about build it yourself. I love reviewing them. I love my RC. But at the same time, I have such a massive appreciation.
Yes, here it is.
Whoops, let me start that. Massive appreciation for people who take the time to build their own do-it-yourself rigs. Ireland is on the map, but I'm going to add another check just to create the density
here it is.
Ireland
Finally,
deserves.
I finished the seat.
So,
Can you believe it?
Spatial's going to be running
A lot of work
Project Cars 2 on PS4. Excellent. Hello, South Florida.
It sits on
Get
rails.
another one down there
As
in
you can
that
see, moving
Miami,
kind of
Fort
pinched
Lauderdale
between it.
region
I've got
of the
a
world.
tongue there
I
that
lived
sticks
in
out in the
Fort
front where you
Lauderdale
can
a while
put
ago.
a
A long time
peg
ago, actually.
to lock it down, so you can just
Montreal, missed you.
move it to
Hello,
the right
Montreal.
position.
I'm just going
Lock
to keep
it.
adding some marks
In the
here
back,
to the
I've
thing.
got
Thank you so much for letting us know where you're
system
from,
there
and
to
more
recline at
importantly,
different
thank you for
angles.
being here.
So I've got 8
this
different
rig you're
positions
playing,
there.
I did
Didn't
a
want to
video
go
a
too
while ago on the
ballistic with that
Simbox, and this is by
because
Alan DeWint.
otherwise I
And when he
can't
built it, he just
have
had a
enough room
card
to get
chair.
out of
You
the
can see
box
this is a
if I
very
make that
elaborate
too long,
setup.
right?
He
Because
actually
if
has
I
a
push it
bed
against
on
the
top
wall,
of
then I
this
can get
rig.
out rather easily.
If you ever
Allows me
missed
to
that video,
bring it
hello
up pretty
Belgium.
straight up
You can, if you
for
ever
working on the
missed
keyboard and
that
not just
video,
doing office work.
it
And
literally
reclining all the way back
was
for
a
driving is
box
quite
with a bed
comfortable.
on top of it. It was a room within a room for total privacy for sim
And
racing,
some
and he
of the
also did
other
regular work from it. But it
details,
was
a lot of work
lacking
in
a
the
chair.
back, so this whole
So anyway, I
back
just noticed that
side is
he
attached to the
is,
seat so that it moves forward and backwards
you
with
can't
the
hear?
seat. Obviously, I've put
Oh, the
some,
narrator's playing?
I didn't make it straight back.
Oh,
All these
shoot.
parts here
I
that
see
have
it.
to move. Obviously.
Sorry about that. Alan even asked me not to play the audio. I'm sorry about that, you guys. Thank you for correcting me there. Anyway, as I was saying, there's Alan. He went over the top with even his chair design. And look at this. This guy's not even a woodsman, but look at the work he does. Or a wood craftsman. So anyway, I just wanted to give him a shout out and show off that he's kind of gone one step further on his rig. And that takes me to another viewer rig. Dwayne Loudon had sent me a thing thanking me because years ago on the old show, I built the Deathmobile. And the Deathmobile is one of my favorite rigs ever, and I've gotten a lot of emails over the years from people who built similar versions. And I got this picture from Dwayne of his rig and his version of the Deathmobile. And you can see he has a SimPit sticker because I sent him a sticker just for his effort. But I just want to show it off. I review products all the time, but don't underestimate my love for a do-it-yourself project and the ability to constantly customize it. If you change monitors one day, then all of a sudden you can just build a new monitor stand. It's that easy. Spatial's talking about Alan's rig and his wood seat. I think that was because he also uses it for a work chair, and I think he also lets his kids jump in there, so he needed some adjustment. But yeah, this was just another version of the Deathmobile by Dwayne Loudon, and an excellent effort, and my congratulations. And if any of you have done a do-it-yourself rig, I'd love to see them. I'd love to show them on the show, and I think with the live show, it's a perfect venue to show the labor of love of us sim racers out in the world. So anyway, I just want to bring that to your attention as well. And beyond that, the only other news I really have for the day is tomorrow's topic for the Sim Tunnel. So I don't have a guest, so I'm depending on a lot of you to be here to have this discussion with me. But tomorrow I want to talk about making pizza. And you've heard me refer to this topic so many times, but if I were to make the perfect sim, I would take a slice of the pizza from just about every sim in existence. Even some of the arcade-type racing games, or whatever you want to call in that sim racist or elitist way of defining our games. But I want to take a slice from my favorites, and, different strokes for different folks. I am not going to say that my pizza is the perfect pizza pie. I think some people like pepperoni, some people like sausage, some people like veggie. It's very important for you to define what the best pizza pie for you would be. I want your opinions tomorrow on the Sim Tunnel, because I'm going to be doing it alone, and I'm going to be talking about what I take from each sim and why, and how I put it all together to make the perfect sim. And I will say, if you made the perfect pizza, I don't think our computers could run it. It would take too many engines, and we'll talk about game engines and things going on in the sim during that show. You have physics engines, graphics engines, to an extent you have sound engines. In the case of Project Cars, you have water effect engines. All those engines running do put a limitation on processing power. So, I want your opinion. If we just could have any computer available, absolutely, John, I'm with you there. We have that in common, and we will see what sims we have in common, because I do not like pineapple on my pizza at all. Denka, I love aluminum extrusion. Honestly, it is pretty much my favorite way of making a rig on a do-it-yourself version. So, sorry, I was struggling for words there. And as far as sending your things, I did get my email back in operation. And I have answered about 90% of the emails that I've missed over the last 3 weeks. Did it not put that up? There it is. There's my email, Sean@thesimpit.com. Send me a link, send me a video, send me pictures, whatever you got. I'd love to show it on the show. And if I feature your rig on the show, I'll send you a SimPit sticker. So send me your mailing address as well. And give me the story. Give me the background. Tell me why, your motivation, how long it took. Tell me any details that you think people would want to know about your sim rig. So when I do feature it, it's more than just a couple of pictures, and I will send you some stickers. A sticker. So anyway, that is it. Tomorrow's show should be a lot of fun. That's 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we will just purely be talking pizza, talking the perfect sim. What do we take from each and every sim to make the perfect pie? So that is it for today's show. Thank you very much, the pit crew, for being here. I had a lot of fun. Big news day. Lots of cool stories. I'm going to finish up myself by going and watching the end of this competition, and I encourage you to do the same thing. This is the Sim Pit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.